to our solemn celebration. It sounds like it just sneaks here. At the front door was a jack-o'-lantern to welcome everyone in, spirits, living folk and spirits alike. At the back door, a bowl of apples to wish them on their way after we have spent a nice visit with them tonight. The word Samhain comes from the old Irish. It means summer's end. It marked the transition from the light half of the year to the dark half of the year, and when harvests were complete and winter's cold began to settle in. Samhain symbolized renewal, beginnings from the endings. The wheel of the year, the end of one thing, marks the beginning of the next. So the end of the harvest would then be the beginning of the new year. It was a time to honor ancestors, to reflect on the past and prepare for future endeavors. Prepare for the darkness ahead and to make sure that we can survive the winter. The Celts believed that during this liminal moment, when the harvest ended and the winter began, the veil between the worlds was very thin, allowing spirits and ancestors to come through and visit the living. Many witches consider this their New Year's Day. Like we said, anything's end is something else's beginning. Now at Samhain, the goddess is in her crone aspect. She is the veiled one, the guide of souls, the keeper of mysteries. She rules over death, transformation, and the spirit world. She helps those face what must be let go. Also at this time, she mourns the god's passing until his rebirth at Yule. If you recall, at our last Sabbath, Lunasa, or Sabbath, 2 Sabbaths ago, Lunasa, we laid John Barleycorn to rest. Now he will rest until the days begin to grow longer again. This is the time of crone. Modern Samhain rituals often reflect many of these themes. We light candles for the dead. We place photos, offerings on ancestral altars. We meditate on what needs to be released. And we do divination to learn what the future holds. It is a time to honor what was, accept what is, and prepare for what will come. Now, some of us today have celebrated many Samhains past. Is there anyone that would like to share something that was really meaningful that happened during a Samhain time?
Well, I can just share that I don't usually ever remember my dreams, but at this time of year, I will occasionally, if I put water next to my bed and a pad of paper with my intention that I will remember and I will write when I wake up. That's when I have the best recollection. So, and since it doesn't happen very often, yeah, it's just.
Yeah, it can happen at this time of year when that veil is thin and the messages can really get through. I have some years that are more messagey than other years, you know. I think it has to to do a lot with what's going on in your life and the noise that your life is making. A lot of times we really have to deliberately turn off all the other noise so that the messages can come through. And this is what you do with the water and the pad and the welcoming it, you know. So be open to hearing from your beloved dead. Treat it just like as if they were still alive, because you know people are people, and if they like to have a cup of coffee in life, now pour them a cup of coffee and say, "Come, let's just talk to me a while. How am I doing? How am I doing? Ready? Be ready for the answer. Ready, pull some punches."
Yeah, I like where your train of thought just went, because I think what happened to my friend, who no one was listening. So a friend of mine who was a medium calls me up and says, "I got a message for you." And it was from somebody else, but it was like interesting. It happened around that time, and he just wasn't being heard.
My people not listening to
So
me.
just jump over here and send a message across. Yeah.
So that was interesting times. Interesting times. So some of the correspondences that Samhain brings would be in colors, would be black and orange and deep purple and burgundy. And the plants are like mugwort and rosemary, wormwood, sage, and bay leaves, and acorns and heather. Now that mugwort is very good to drink as a tea for those lucid dreams. That's something that could do. And rosemary is symbolizes memory. So if you burned it like you would an incense, or you brewed it like tea, the smell of it would then help you remember various things. And sometimes in this time of year, you know, you might just suddenly remember something that happened. So I haven't thought about that in so long, you know. And why am I thinking about this person now? Well, they're coming through. They just want to be remembered. Now, offerings that you can put on the table would be soul cakes, or apples, or turnips. You know, the pumpkins in this country, we use pumpkins to carve and to light, but there were no pumpkins in Europe back in the day. They still have these huge turnips, and they would carve those and dry them out, and they look creepy. If you remember, Google it. They're really creepy. Jack-o'-lantern looks like, and these things are, you know. And of course it's soup season, so you start wanting to make dark breads and mulled cider and stews and soups. And I like, you know, the creamy ones, like butternut squash soup.
Zupa Toscana.
Yes. And all kinds of ciders and stuff. It's the warm spices, you know, to offset the cold. Florida's not that cold, but you know, traditionally it would be cinnamon and nutmeg and pumpkins. Put the AC down low. Right. Now the crystals that you want to have on hand at this time would be obsidian, smoky quartz, onyx, jet, bloodstone, amethyst. These are very protective. Because remember, if you don't want to just fling the door wide open and say, "Come on in, spirits," you know, because you don't know who you're going to get. So you do want to protect yourself at this time so that you're not overloaded with someone who's like looking for an ear and they won't let you go. Animals at this time would be crows and owls and bats and cats, and spiders and wolves, all of our favorites. And the deities of this time, the Morrigan, Hecate, Hades, Cernunnos, Anubis, tell all the gods of the underworld that would be overseeing our beloved dead, this stuff. Now, your ancestor altar could be as elaborate or as simple as you like, pictures of loved ones and some of the things that they enjoyed in life, and just make a welcome place for them for a visit. I have this carved pumpkin. I have candles that we're going to light, and it could be lots of flowers, could be anything that you really want to put out, like you would put out for a welcoming kind of a display. Now, talking about that protection, it is wise to protect ourselves at this time of year, and an amulet to have with us while we visit with our ancestors keeps the uninvited spirits from crashing the party. Now, traditionally, a equal armed cross, not like a Christian cross, but right in the middle, like this, it was carried for protection during the dark half of the year. And the square cross is a symbol that was used literally for millennia. Each culture seems to have its own particular symbolism for it and a name: the balanced cross, the peaceful cross, the equal armed cross. And it stood for the 4 elements or the 4 directions or the 4 seasons, depending on the culture that is making them. And this has gone down through the ages. In Europe, it was typically made from rowan wood, a very protective tree. Now, I use popsicle sticks. Before you say you cheaped out, cheap thing. Nope. Do you know what popsicle sticks are made of? Oak. Birch. Birch. They are made of birch because that is a really good food grade wood. And birch symbolizes new beginnings, purification, and protection. So what could be better? Would you like to make a little, I've got popsicle sticks, I've got bells, I've got yarn. Come. Purple yarn, this is what we're going to make. Grab a popsicle stick and a bell and a piece of, where did my scissors go? And a piece of yarn.
What color?
What colors?
Oh, now I have choices. Okay. And the green, which this is green. Oops, sorry, plate.
Cut yourself a length a couple of feet long.
It's good like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't follow instructions very well.
It'll work with less, but
I use it as a bow.
now maybe some of you have made a God's eye, in camp or something, where you go around and around and around and around, put 2 sticks together like this. But we don't have to be that elaborate. We're just going to bind these 2 sticks, put them right in the middle, give yourself some tying room, right? Cross them over and just wrap around, and then wrap around this way and go around and around, wrapping this way, bind the middle. It's not going to go anywhere like that. When you get yourself 2 pieces about that length, 1 on each side of your sticks, then We're going to have fun now pushing this little bell on one of them. Shouldn't be too hard to do. We could add some bodily fluid for it, make it more magical. Going to tie the ends together. So the bell is right in the middle. That's where we need the thread puller. I need to need a thread puller. Well, you know, this focus that you're doing now, that's going to add more energy.
Sure. A little roof wire that you push through. Yeah. Just makes sense.
Oh,
True. Because like you said, it adds focus.
it adds focus. You know, I did this so easily. This one's good. Huh. Ah, success. Tie it on it. Or not. Then, sure. A little there. Got your little section. The bell is good. The bell clears away any negative energy. Pretty bell. Beautiful. Yay! So now that we have our protection, we can do some divination without any problems at all. Now, if we were up north, we would go for a walk in the woods, and we would, at this time of year, we would see all the leaves turning, and we would pick up like a big oak leaf or a big maple leaf that was fully formed. Like we would find one that was perfectly not corn or anything, but we don't have that in Florida. I guess we could go get a palm frond, but that might not be the same. So we're gonna use these pieces of paper and imagine them as autumn leaves. So I'm going to give you a piece of paper. Okay, piece of paper. Florida oak leaves are not. Yeah, Florida oak. They're not as much fun.
Sea grape leaves.
We can sea grape leaves would be a good idea in Florida. Try this week. Well, give me some of my protection. So, now, hold this paper in our hands, and just like we do for our healing spell, you know, dig those roots down into the earth and pull up that healing energy. And instead of it coming out and forming a ball in front of us, let's just put that energy into this paper. You can also imagine the energy falling like a gentle rain from the goddess. Soak it all in. Come down your arms, into your hands, into your paper. a spirit to give us a message in this piece of paper / autumn leaf. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And tear your paper into small pieces. Randomly tear. Dylan.
Yeah.
Hey, Noah. Once you've got your piece of paper all torn up, find a surface to lay it on. And just lay them out randomly in front of you. So with your eyes closed if possible and safe. Just get them all spread out in your lap, the chair next to you, or on the table, whatever. Okay. Move them around. When you're satisfied with the way they are arranged, open your eyes and find messages in the shapes of the paper. You see it in animals or symbols, letters, or anything that speaks to you. This piece here looks like face, but I don't think a human face. It's a little too long. Maybe a horse. But it's got a unicorn. I think I got a unicorn. Some kind of horse. What else? What's this?
I got a turtle.
You got a turtle.
Funny, blue.
You made a good one.
He's got a tail too.
Oh my goodness.
I have a mess.
You have a mess. Keep looking. Make your eyes sleepy to find it. Come on, find something.
They found a mastodon.
A mastodon. Oh my goodness.
You look, but don't look. Just don't poke. It'll come out.
So
I got a fish.
a fish.
Nice.
A fish.
I have states.
Yeah.
Yes, I used to see a lot of states.
No, I have states.
It's like
I do.
in Arizona.
I have Oregon. I have California in 2 parts. 3 parts actually, which is very appropriate for that state. I have Washington. It all kind of falls with what's going on right now. So
Okay.
I feel like I have birds. I feel like mine's look like a flock of birds flying.
yeah.
So this says, seeing a turtle during scrying is a powerful symbol of wisdom, patience, and protection, suggesting you should slow down, be more grounded, and trust the
That is a
natural
turtle.
pace of your life. That is a turtle.
That is a turtle.
Oh, and there's a wolf too.
Okay, let's see what it says about seeing a flock of birds. Birds or bats?
Birds were first.
Yeah, they were
Birds were most likely birds.
Seeing a flock of birds while scrying is generally a positive omen, signifying themes of community, transformation, and immediate change.
That sounds like what I'm going through right now. It does.
Excellent. And what did you say you had, Shine?
A wolf in the sea.
Fish.
Fish.
A fish or maybe a fossil fish? Because all the
Oh.
pieces were separate.
Okay. Well, when you see a fish, it often is interpreted as a message relating to intuition, emotions, abundance, and the subconscious mind. Since scrying itself involves gazing into a reflective surface like a mirror of water, it can be, the fish, as a quick creature of water, is a highly symbolic image. Intuition, the subconscious, abundance and prosperity. Fish is good luck, wealth and fertility. And the transformation is like the flow, the fish in the water currents. Go with the flow, shine. Go with the flow.
That's so cool. I'm going to look this up so I can find out more. Thank you.
Yes. Seeing a mastodon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Changing community.
Yes, he found us. Ta-da.
Primal power, ancient wisdom, and overcoming enormous challenges. Your mastodon.
What did you see?
Horse.
Can I take a picture of it?
Sure. Seeing a horse is a symbol of strength, freedom, and power, but the exact meaning depends on the context of your life and the details of the vision. A horse can represent independence or a new journey. It can be also point to a need for control over strong emotions or a connection to your wild, unbridled self.
A fan?
Wolf and bear.
I don't see, it was supposed to have just animals, huh?
No,
Anything.
anything. She's not California.
Oh. That's
Yeah,
like a fan.
Yeah,
And Oregon and
like
Washington.
a heart.
The whole damn coast.
A heart.
Okay, so let's see wolf. Wolf is signifies guidance, strength, and instinct. It can be a call to embrace your inner nature, trust your intuition, find a balance between independence and community, or recognize the power of loyalty and family.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had a bear.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have wings here too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bear symbolizes strength, courage, introspection, and self-knowledge. It can represent a need to stand in your own power, set boundaries, or reflect on your inner self.
Dog or bunny?
So look at little bunny. Let's get bunny.
Yeah, the bunny.
I'll try bunny. One more.
Yeah.
And move on. But isn't that an interesting way of scrying that anybody you can do anytime you tear up a piece of paper? It's like it's just scrap paper.
Mm-hmm.
And this was called just scrying.
Scrying.
Scrying. You can scry
Can be
in
done.
fire, water, clouds, smoke,
Mirrors.
Or wings if you can find that.
Okay.
If you can't find
The bunny is fertility, abundance, new beginnings, and growth.
that shit fast.
Yeah, well,
It could be other things.
abundances, encouraging you to embrace change. Trust your instincts.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you gotta get a new musical contract. That's fertility in a way.
That's right.
I put in for one. Yeah.
There you go. See?
And then we'll say wings. Wings. Seeing wings during scrying can symbolize freedom, transcendence, protection, and spiritual guidance. Mhm. An invitation to look beyond your physical limitations and seek a higher perspective.
You had
Alright.
some,
Like, I love how yours are like very clearly what animal age it means.
Swanbird.
Hey, it's still something.
Isn't that great?
they're like flying.
It's like somebody stomped on a centipede.
That's fine.
Alright, so let's move on to our next activity, which would be to enjoy some soul cakes. Now, souling was a pre-trick-or-treat practice where people would go from door to door offering to pray for the dead in exchange for these cakes called soul cakes. And they could be those warm spices, it could be apples, whatever, fruit of the season is, So now another tradition revolving around food would be the dumb supper. Now, that is a powerful Samhain ritual that honors beloved ones who passed over. The meal is served in reverse. Eat dessert first. That's important. And life is short. Eat dessert first. So it's served in reverse and held in complete silence with a plate set at the table for the deceased, and often accompanied by a lit candle to invite them in. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to ring the bells. And when you hear the bells ring, zip, no more talking. Come up, get a soul cake, light a candle, put a piece of the cake on the black plate. That would be your share for your beloved dead. And then go back and sit down and eat your cake in complete silence. This is my husband's lemon spread recipe for blueberries. It's very good. So you will enjoy it. But just complete silence and just meditate on what it would be like to have your relative back with you, sharing this meal with you, and just be open to any messages that you receive. Okay? Ready? That was a very abbreviated experience. The dumb supper can be very powerful. You could spend as long as you want to on something like that. First one that I was ever invited to, I brought my Aunt Bessie's meatballs. I thought I was going to visit my other grand. And I was there eating my dinner, and all of a sudden, my Aunt Eileen, who's Irish, who I hadn't thought about in a whole time, I heard her voice clear as a bell say, "Alma, what are you doing at a Gaelic dinner? What are you doing?" Because like this wasn't their thing, but it was hers. She was like, "Alma," yeah, it's just so it's like she was surprised to see me. I was like, "Oh man, this is weird, so weird," So you never know who you're going to remember when you do something like that. So what did you think of that? Anybody have any comments on that?
I don't know, I felt like I got really emotional out of nowhere. And I like was hugging me. And my grandfather still cared for me, not my parents. I don't know, I just felt like sitting there again, and it felt really weird. I'm not trying to be upset right now, but for the first time, I felt like
I'm so emotional.
sorry, I don't know where it came
No, and that's not anything to be sorry about. This is why we do this, to remember and to feel those things. Because there's no reason why we can't continue to enjoy our beloved dead.
Thank you.
After they've passed. This is why we do this. And in the handout, I even put the recipe for the homestead.
Stealing that.
Okay. Whew. So, yes, it can be very emotional, but we shouldn't be afraid of feeling those things and connecting with those that are on the other side of the veil. We will be in their place one day, and we will be looking for someone to welcome us like this. So we are treated the way we treat. So that's why we always want to follow this path of kindness.
I like to think too, that that's how that myth of the idea came along, where it was passed on. Yeah, the family is there.
Right.
Because of doing ritual like this.
Yes, absolutely.
Not long ago, that they don't let go of us.
It's funny for an Irishman.
Yeah.
Was growing up, there was always a big thing. We went to the cemetery. And we did picnics
Yeah.
all the time. So growing up with child, whenever we passed the cemetery, I was like, "Are we going on a picnic? We're going on a picnic."
We know what's in there.
It didn't matter. It didn't
Nothing but
but that's what you did. Exactly what you did. You just, well, you had picnics, you had dinner, lunch, or something. It was a big family event. Everybody's been going. It's a big thing.
Very good. So now is time. One thing that is really a big part of Samhain was always community bonfires, right? According to early Irish sources, families would let their hearth fires burn down while Druidic priests or local leaders lit a central bonfire. And people would then take coals from this sacred fire to reignite their home hearths. So our fire tender, acting as our druid tonight, has built a fire outside that is comprised of 9 different woods. Magic number 9. So our fire will contain oak, poplar, pine, red cedar, mahogany, palm, cypress, because we're in Florida, dogwood, and apple chips. Okay, so he has put that together and he will light it. And when he's got the fire ready outside, what we will do, that's a copy of this that I'm reading from.
Fire's the one element I never could finish.
That's why you have a fire tender. Right? Not everybody has
Has to be good with it.
it has to be good with fire. But we're gonna go outside, we're gonna play some appropriate Samhain tunes. And we've got the words here to one of the songs, Samhain Nights. This is a new one for me. I don't know if you know that, but I'm just gonna get the fire going. And then what we're gonna do is you take the candle that you lit and very carefully dump it over into this plate so that it puts itself out. Right? And then go outside and put it on a brick around the fire pit. And we have these long matches, so you can relight it from the Samhain fire with the long match, or you can get the fire tender to help you do that if you don't, right? If you're not comfortable around the fire. That's why we got the long matches, so nobody has to get too close to the fire. Okay, so let's do that now, and then we'll bring the camera out there and I'll start the music. Okay, so let's see. Let me try it first, just so we know it's.
I have a question.
Yes.
What do we do with our little torn up pieces of paper? I'm kind of afraid to move it.
Oh, you can take a picture of it if you want to look at it again later.
I did that, yes.
Okay. Well, then you can take those little pieces of paper and put it in your next ritual type fire, or you could
Okay.
use scry again.
Good idea. Okay.
Hold them in your hand, and then spread them out again and look again And those would be your Samhain scrying paper. Right, because it's
Like
got
that. Cool.
yeah, it's got that energy in it now. So you can use that as a tool.
Thank you.
Wow. All right, so let's see if this works. I'll be the guinea pig. No, it doesn't work. Okay, blow it up.
Blow it up, it's all right.
Well, if you do dump out your wax, because that would be safe, then we'll burn that in the fire too, so no problem. If you want to put your little pieces of paper in the fire, then you can do that as well, or you can keep them for your frying papers. All right.
I'm gonna try and save all my first year stuff.
There you go.
And then maybe
Yes.
I
No,
want them
so-
next out, I'll write them.
Oh, there you go.
Look at you. I'm decorated. I've been decorated. I mean, gotta take away one leg of the triangle.
All right.
Put it out. Nope. It was.
Oh, you're in fire, not friends.
Well, that's your room.